The 4-pay email providers I recommend. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Here's a common question I get. I get that you strongly recommend against using free email accounts for important stuff. But that begs the question, which paid email providers do you recommend? It's a fair question. I recommend several approaches depending on your situation. I need to explain what I'm looking for first. It's possible that you already have what you need. I look for 3 things in an email provider. Data portability. Can I take my data to another provider if I choose? Reliability. Can I connect and does it work consistently? Support. If I have a problem, is there someone to help me? There's an optional 4th item, email address portability. We'll talk about that as well. Data portability is probably the most commonly undervalued and, in my mind, perhaps the most important of the 3. To me, data portability means either using a desktop email client like Microsoft Office's Outlook or Outlook Classic, Thunderbird, or others so that email and contacts are stored on my machine, independently of the email service I use. This way, should I get a new email address and an account at a new email service in the future, I still have my complete set of existing email and contacts. Or relying on export and perhaps import capabilities of the email services I use to download and then upload my emails and contacts to a new service should I ever elect to get a new email account and close my previous one. The first option, using a desktop email client, is ubiquitous. Almost any email account, free or paid, supports this. The second option is more hit and miss. The biggest issue is rarely the email itself. We can typically transfer email from one online email account to another by using a desktop email client and the IMAP protocol. Contacts are the issue. Most email services don't export and import contacts the same way for all possible fields. Exporting and then importing contacts almost always loses some amount of data. Reliability is fairly obvious. What good is an email provider if it doesn't work? This includes not only being able to connect to your email provider, but also deliverability. If your email provider is preventing you from receiving the email you requested, for example, because of overly aggressive spam filtering, that could quickly become unacceptable. One of the most common complaints about some free email services is email deliverability. This applies in both directions, the inability to receive email sent to you, as well as the email you send never making it to its destination. Gmail seems to be in the best position among the free services. Gmail still also has by far the best spam filtering technology. Support is by far the biggest issue I have with the free provider, but it holds for many paid providers as well. If I have a problem, will you help me? Can I find a person to address my issue? Is there a phone number to call? This includes helping me with connectivity issues that might come up, account recovery from hacking and malware, and of course dealing with issues related to missing email and spam. There are a boatload of other features one might consider, including the web interface, customizable spam filtering, mobile access, high mailbox quotas, the ability to create sub-accounts, and so on. To me, these all pale in comparison to the top 3: portability, reliability, and support. Now, I have some recommendations. Recommendation number 0, get your own domain. This actually addresses the email portability issue. Once you own your own domain, you'll never have to change your email address again. If you get an email address from any provider, free or paid, it'll be an email address that only that email provider can support. For example, an @gmail.com email address will only ever go to Google's email service. Should you need to change your provider, you'll be forced to change your email address as well. When you purchase your own domain, like I own askleo.com, you can change where you host your email easily without having to change your email address. Over the last year, I processed email sent to Leo at askleo.com using a Gmail account. I then switched to using a ProtonMail account, and I'm currently using a FastMail account. Externally, nothing changed. You still sent your messages to leo@askleo.com. Many paid email providers offer the ability to directly host email for your own domain. Particularly if you're running a business, I strongly recommend you purchase your own domain name. At a minimum, use the services of your registrar to establish email accounts on that domain. That way, even if you change everything else, as long as you own that domain name, the email addresses on that domain name need never change. All right, recommendation number 1, ProtonMail. ProtonMail markets its ability to encrypt your email and maintain your privacy while using its services. I've heard them referred to as the email provider you want if you want your email safe from, say, government prying. That's great, but they're also just a good email provider. They have a web interface, they have tools you can use to access email using third-party programs like Microsoft Office Outlook, and they can directly host email on your domain. A mobile app is available. In addition to email, they also provide cloud storage, a VPN service, and other things. They're headquartered in Switzerland and maintain some of the most privacy-focused services around. I've been using ProtonMail for one of my domains for a couple of years now and have been quite happy with the service. My personal/family email is now processed by ProtonMail. You can begin using ProtonMail for free with some limitations. Once you find yourself happy with the service, their paid plans are not that expensive. Recommendation number 2, FastMail. Seems like FastMail has been around forever, and that's not too far from the truth in internet terms. They position themselves as a private, though not encrypted, email provider that doesn't sell your data. Where Proton might keep you safe from government spying, you can think of FastMail as protecting you from capitalism. Like ProtonMail, they provide many different levels of service, including the ability to host email on your own domain. They also support the ability to fetch email from other services, a feature that is being removed from Gmail. They don't have a free tier, but they do have a free trial should you wish to try out their services. I now host email for several domains, including askleo.com, using FastMail. I find their interface fast and intuitive. Recommendation number 3, your ISP. You're already paying good money to someone to connect you to the internet, and by definition, they have customer service. Whether it's good customer service is something you'll have to evaluate, of course. Most ISPs include at least one, if not several, email accounts with your connectivity package, and often include some kind of web interface as well. If you need more accounts, your ISP will often provide them for an additional charge. The big downside of using your ISP's email service is that you are given an ISP-specific email address. If you ever change ISPs, your email address will no longer work. You can work around this by using your own domain name and having that email routed through your ISP. If you must, I have a free recommendation. One of the alternatives that meets most but not all of my criteria is free, and that's Gmail. Gmail is a valid alternative if you use it properly, and you don't care that your email address will function only as long as you have that Gmail account. What do I mean by use it properly? Well, that boils down to 2 things. Back it up, ideally using a desktop email program, and keep your account recovery information up to date. The primary criterion Gmail doesn't meet is support. There is support in the form of an extensive FAQ and user support forum, but you won't find a phone number, and it's unclear how responsive their online support request form is when you finally find it. Remember, it's free, and you're getting what you paid for. Bottom line, take responsibility. Whether you use an ISP, an email provider, domain registrar, or even use Gmail properly, take responsibility for your email. First and foremost, that means you need to be backing up your email and contacts yourself regularly in case of loss. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/2824. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.